Hey there fellow adventurers, today we are diving deep into the epic world of Final Fantasy XVI, and let me tell you, this game is causing waves like a meteor hitting the ocean. And not just any ocean, we're talking about the kind of ocean that's so epic even Poseidon will be like, whoa, dial it down a bit. Alright, let's talk about the visuals right now. I don't know about you guys, but I love when a game slams me in the face with the great, beautiful graphics. And that's exactly where Final Fantasy XVI shines. The visuals are so stunning, I genuinely had to check if my TV suddenly went into the 4K Ultra Cinematic mode. But turns out it was just the game itself. Square Enix is out there treating us like we all have own movie studio quality TVs. The landscapes, the characters, and the lightnings, it's like they handpicked the most talented artists and said, hey, let's create a world so beautiful people wants to move in. Like seriously, if I could buy property in this game, I would be packing my bags right now. And it's not about how pretty the game is, every single cutscene feels like you're watching a high-budget fantasy movie, and attention to details is the next level. Like, did the developers zoomed in and sculpt every leaf on every tree? Probably, I don't know. The only downside? Well, the game is so gorgeous, I kept getting distracted by scenery while my character was, supposed to be fighting for his life. But hey, priorities, right? Next up, let's talk about the storyline. Listen, Final Fantasy doesn't mess around when it comes about delivering an epic narrative. And Final Fantasy XVI is not an exception. Just imagine a mix of Game of Thrones style intrigue with a massive magical battle thrown in for good measure. It's like they sat down and said, what if we made a medieval fantasy but turned the drama up to 11? Our protagonist, the Cleve Rosefield, is going through some stuff, okay? We've got betrayals, heartbreak, and twists so shocking, they'll make you drop your controller. And no, I'm not responsible if that happens. So handle your controllers with care, okay? One minute you're sitting there and thinking, oh, I've got this all figured out, and boom, plot twist. It's the emotional equivalent of getting hit by a bus, except, in a good way, if that's even possible. And speaking of emotion, don't be surprised if you find yourself tearing up. Whether it's a powerful cutscene or just a quiet moment of reflection, this game knows how to pull at your heartstring like a harpist at a medieval festival. There is laughter, there is pain, and of course, there is that classical Final Fantasy. What's the meaning of life? So you might want to keep some tissues nearby. Just saying. For your tears, not for other things, Now, let's get into the combat. The combat, yes. Chef's kiss. It's fast, it's fluid, and yeah, it's so satisfying. This isn't your grandpa's turn-based RPG anymore. No. This is action-packed. In-your-face combat, where every swing of your sword feels like a mini earthquake. I mean, I'm not saying that you will feel like an invincible demigod, but yeah, you'll pretty much feel like an invincible demigod. One of the coolest thing is the Aiken's abilities. They're like, how do I put this? Imagine, you're playing a game and think, man, I wish I could summon a giant fire-breathing monster to obliterate my enemies. Well, in Final Fantasy XVI, you can. You can literally harness the power of this godlike being called icons. And let me tell you, it's as awesome as it sounds. Each icon has its own set of moves that you can use in battle. And when I say these battles are epic, I mean you'll feel like you're living in an anime action sequence. Flames everywhere, lightning bolts shooting across the sky. Your enemies are exploding into particles. You get the picture, right? And for those of us who occasionally panic and start button mashing, hey, no judgment. The combat system is surprisingly intuitive. Even if you're not the best with combos, the game will still make you feel like you know what you're doing. Kind of like how I feel when I'm following the complicated recipe, but it turns out okay, Let's talk about the boss fight. Because oh boy, these are not ordinary boss fights. They're not just fights. Literally, they're not just fights. They're events, spectacles. Imagine that you were sitting in a cinema, watching the most insane battle scene ever, and you're realizing you're controlling it. Whether it's battling a massive titan or summoning the power of Icon to go head-to-head with a fairy beast. These fights are jaw-droppingly good. And look, I've played a lot of bosses battles in my time, but the ones in Final Fantasy XVI, they are something else. It's like the Square Enix said, how do we outdo every other boss battle in existence? And then actually succeeded. You'll be on the edge of your seat, probably sweating, but it's all worth it for the sweet victory. But wait, there is more. Let's not forget the side quests. Now, we all know that side quest can be a hit or miss in a game. Sometimes they're engaging and add depth to the world, and sometimes they're, well, glorified fetch missions. Final Fantasy VI has both of it. Well, I'll be honest, even the fetch quests are worth doing because they add so much to lore. Plus, you get cool rewards, and who doesn't love cool rewards, right? If you like this video so far, give it a like and subscribe to my channel to see more videos like this. And if you wanna support my channel, you can buy me a coffee. The coffee link is in the description. The side quests closer to the end of the game, the storylines becomes richer, the stake gets higher, and the rewards absolutely worth it. But yes, I wouldn't sugarcoat it. The early side quest might make you feel like an errand boy. Just remember, all roads leads to the epicness. Now, let's address the 30 FPS elephant in the room. Yeah, I'm looking at you. Pre-rendered cutscenes, right? Don't get me wrong, the cutscenes are stunning, but why they are locked at 30 FPS? I don't get it. It's like driving a sports car and getting stuck behind a tractor. But hey, don't worry too much, there is a fix for that. Shout out to the modding community, coming in clutch once again. Final Fantasy XVI is a visual feast, an emotional roller coaster, and a combat extravaganza all rolled into one. Whether you are a seasoned fan of the series or a newcomer, this game has something for everyone. For the heart-wrenching storyline to the epic battle that will leave you breathless. It's an experience you don't want to miss. So grab your sword, summon your icon, and get ready to embark adventure like no other. Trust me, you won't regret it. Now, if you all excuse me, I've got some more epic boss battles to go crash. See you on the battlefield.